Shy extroverts are not introverts. The two may appear similar on the surface, but the motivations of their actions are quite different. Personally, I've always been quite extroverted. My best times are always when I'm around people. When I'm alone for extended periods of time, I get extremely antsy and want to talk to anyone. In college, there were many days where I would be in my dorm's common area talking to people until 3 in the morning instead of hiding in my room. Yet people seem to think I'm introverted, which simply isn't true. Almost every time I've taken one of those 16 personalities tests, my result was ENFP, aka the campaigner. Who would have thought someone who likes writing long speeches and makes videos would be called a campaigner? But back to the ENFP part. The E in that initialization stands for extroverted. Generally speaking, extroverts thrive when they're around people. Being in intensely social situations is the way that extroverts pump themselves up. I very much identify with the recharge method of socialization. There's no better way for me to recharge myself after a long work week than throwing back a couple of gorilla farts with the boys. Things like that are what I look forward to the most. Going to concerts is something similar that I enjoy. Although I don't always go with friends, flailing my head to Lamb of God playing Laid to Rest while I'm surrounded by strangers is incredibly invigorating. But the strangers are the key player here and why some extroverts are mistakenly identified as introverted. A shy extrovert may be extremely intimidated by people unfamiliar to them. They may want to talk to people they don't know, but the concept of doing it is terrifying. Personally, I have the tendency to hyper-analyze everything I say as if I were taking part in a job interview. Even though all I'm doing is talking to someone at a gas station who asked me if I've ever tried this flavor of Mountain Dew, I haven't. No, I'm not trying it from your cup, dude. I don't know you. Anyway, this aversion to new conversation is mistaken by many as a lack of interest in it. And that makes sense. You see someone is skeptical about talking to someone new, you're probably going to assume they don't want to. But in many cases, they really do want to talk, they're just too shy to do so. Think about the stereotypical guy who thinks he can't get a girlfriend and doesn't know why. A lot of the time, it's just because he really isn't trying. He craves the attention of women but won't try to talk to them, generally out of fear. The same principle can be applied to all people when talking about general shyness. Personally, I almost always want to be socializing in some way. But even in situations when I'm around a bunch of people, I tend not to say much. The reason I don't speak likely has to do with much more deeply rooted issues, but for the sake of this video, I'll simply say I'm scared I'll say something wrong that makes me look foolish in some way. It's relatively illegitimate fear, but it's fear nonetheless. Let's take a look at some scenarios where we see what's going on inside the heads of the types of people we've been discussing. Damn, I really want to do something, so I better text somebody. Damn, I really want to do something, I better text somebody, but I don't want to bother anyone. Man, I love being around all these people, it's awesome. Man, I love being out here with all these people, but the strangers still scare me. I love you guys. I love you guys. I'm melting. I miss my friends, but at least there's no strangers. ABB, you want some fun? Yeah, I really want to say something, but, you know what? This girl might reject me, so no. Yo, what up? I'm the top dog around these parts. I would really like to get to know you, but this is painful. Thank you for checking out this totally informational video on extroverts. Hopefully you learned something. And hopefully I taught it correctly. I don't know.